Yehovah Svaot Elohim, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me and stir me and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. It was in Joachim's time that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Bavel, invaded. Joachim became his vassal for 3 years, but then he turned against him and rebelled. Yehovah sent against him raiding parties from the Kasdim, Aram, Moab, and the people of Ammon. He sent them against Yehuda to destroy it, in keeping with the word of Yehovah which he had spoken through his servants the prophets. Yes, it was at Yehovah's order that this happened to Yehuda, in order to remove them from his sight because of the sins of Manasseh and all he had done, and also because of the innocent blood that he had shed. For he had flooded Jerusalem with innocent blood, and Yehovah was unwilling to forgive. Other activities of Joachim and all his accomplishments are recorded in the annals of the kings of Yehuda. Then Joachim slept with his ancestors, and Joachim his son took his place as king. The king of Egypt did not leave his own land anymore, because the king of Bavel had captured all the territory of the king of Egypt between the Valley of Egypt and the Euphrates River. Joachim was 18 years old when he began his reign, and he ruled in Jerusalem for 3 years. His mother's name was Nukhtushta, the daughter of Elnathan from Jerusalem. He did what was evil from Yehovah's perspective, following the example of everything his father had done. It was then that the officers of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Bavel, marched on Jerusalem and laid siege to it. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Bavel, himself went to the city while it was under siege. And Jehoiakim, king of Yehuda, went out to meet the king of Bavel. He, his mother, his servants, princes, and officers, and the king of Bavel took him captive in the 8th year of his reign. He also carried away from there all the treasuries of the house of Yehovah and all the treasuries in the royal palace. He cut in pieces all the articles of gold which Shlomo, king of Israel, had made in the temple of Yehovah, as Yehovah had said would happen. He carried all Jerusalem away captive, all the princes, all the bravest soldiers, 10,000 captives, also all the craftsmen and metalworkers. No one was left but the poorest people of the land. Joachim he carried off to Bavel. Likewise, he carried off the king's mother, the king's wives, his officers, and main leaders of the land from Jerusalem into captivity in Bavel. All the strong men, 7,000 of them, as well as the 1,000 craftsmen and metalsmiths, all of them strong and trained for war. The king of Bavel brought captive to Bavel. The king of Bavel made Mattaniah, Joachim's father's brother, king in the place of Joachim, and changed his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to rule, and he ruled for 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutel, the daughter of Jeremiah from Livnah. He did what was evil from the perspective of Yehovah, following the example of everything Joachim had done. And it was because Yehovah's anger that all these things happened to Jerusalem and Yehuda until he had thrown them out of his presence. Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Bavel. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this 24th chapter of 2 Kings? You can keep your feet moving forward on the path Yehovah has you on. Trust that Yehovah will protect you. Know that the word of Yehovah will happen. Trust that the order of Yehovah will happen. Know that Yehovah sometimes is unwilling to forgive when it comes to shedding innocent blood. Aim to do good from the perspective of Yehovah. Know that others will follow your example, therefore make it a good example to follow. Aim to obey Yehovah in a way that is pleasing from his perspective. Aim to follow the example of King David. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can aim to protect the innocent lives in your life. Bear one another's burdens. We can aim to become a good example for others to follow. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete.